I'm going through some email from my friend Jay that I met here through the channel. He always sends me a lot of good stuff. He's one of those dudes that's just like plugged in, permanent. And he's always seeing things, you know. And he was mentioning how he was glad I mentioned Jesus during that street exorcism I did last week on that lady. I did another one of those yesterday. Same scenario, guy right over here near International Marketplace, middle of the day, freaking out, screaming, people all running away from him. So I go right up to him. Same scenario. This was just, this was a 2-cigarette job. And I heard him speaking what I thought was Latin. And I was like, well, there it is, you know. But it turns out he's Italian and Chinese. He looked just like a regular local guy, but I don't know. He said he was Italian and Chinese. And that's probably where maybe where that was coming from before I started talking to him. But same thing, just carrying on, gibberish, yelling. And then I get over to him, and it's just like, he kind of just deflates, you know. Interesting shit. But yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Jesus. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm a follower of Christ. I don't usually call myself a Christian just because what happens there is it creates a purity spiral with Bible lawyers and churchians, and it becomes like, well, if you call yourself a Christian, then you have to do this, that, and the 10 things that I think you need to do. And I put up a video yesterday about Halloween and how I've seen all these videos come up in my feed about these mornings of Halloween and how you're going to be absolutely damned if you take your kids trick-or-treating. And when I was watching it, I just kind of felt bad. I felt like I was banging on like born-agains, and I don't mean to, because they're on my team, you know. And like, they're the last people I should really be criticizing, but you know, what my point was the old live in the world, not be of it thing. It's Satan's land, and Halloween in a perfect world wouldn't exist, but it does. And you have to negotiate living a semi-normal life here in the beast matrix, and also keeping an eye on divinity. And sometimes you have to play the game. You know, I might not like it, but sometimes you have to take your kids trick-or-treating just to keep things normal, just so you don't have the state coming to do a check on your kids, you know. And I know it's evil and all that stuff, but and that whole thing led me to thinking about the born-again thing, and how I tend to have a lot of problems with them, usually when I interface with them. I would say, like, anyone that's been like spiritually awakened or has come to God and has realized the situation we're in a sense, is born again, they would tell you, no, you have to do this, that, and the other thing, to read this and stand there and say, and I just don't have time. I don't have the patience for people like that, you know. So, but you know, I still love them. They're my brothers and sisters, and they're on my team. It's just not a method that I think it turns more people off than it brings to understanding more, you know. But I was looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm just fucking banging on born-agains again. This isn't helping. I rarely take videos down, but I just felt, you know, it was more negativity. I'd like to put less of that out there, you know. Just getting off the road here. People, when they're behind you, they get right up on you. But when they're in front of you, they move really slow. And a lot of times people can behind them at you. So you gotta just, what I usually do is I just duck out of the fucking herd, and I let them go by. Usually with tourists, I kind of just defer to them. I give them, you know, the space, or I get out of their way, you know. because a lot of times they don't, I mean, they don't know what they are. This area is not familiar to them, so. But yeah. Yeah, so I didn't go anywhere last night. Usually here on the island, Halloween is the busiest night of the year. It's the most crowded, the most people. They closed down the main drag on Halloween, which is the street behind International Marketplace here, Kalakaua. They shut that down. And when I first moved here years ago, I'd go out with my friends on Halloween. In fact, right up until the lockdowns, like during the lockdowns, I kind of just lost touch with a lot of people. You know, people's lives changed. You know, the situation dictated people had to move around the island or move off the island, or shit just changed, you know. So I don't know if they had a big kind of thing last year. You know, as far as this place is concerned, they're never going to be over Macho Grande. You know, so it'll always be, COVID will always be here, as long as the people here keep it in their hearts. And they do. They fucking love it. They love that shit. You know, you still see people walking around with masks on all the time. It's, I think it's disgusting or whatever, you know. But, yeah, last night I just stayed in. I was going to go out and just try to get some footage to, just for fun, you know. But, I don't know. It seemed like too much of a hassle. And going out to see the freaks on Halloween are more fun with your friends, and I was flying solo. Things are just different. Like I don't know, past few years, like after this whole after everything shut down, kind of enjoy just kind of being by myself a lot more now than I used to. I used to always be with someone. I'd go out and, you know, and now it's like I just don't try to make those connections. And I get my own schedule of doing things by myself every day. I just like it more. I don't know. I'll probably reconnect with people again. It's just, I go through phases like that. I think a lot of people do that. You know, just gonna see what's up here tonight. See if any stragglers from last night. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like, tons and tons of people. It's the most populated night of the year. Bigger than Christmas, bigger than New Year's, all that stuff. And also, it's like ass out night. Like I was saying before, back in the day, girls would try to pick these sexy sort of costumes so that they could show their ass. And, you know, it was usually something like a nurse, like sexy nurse, or fucking sexy fox, or cat person. Now it's just like anything and, you know, ass out, you know. I'm Patrick from fucking SpongeBob, ass out. I'm an ice cream cone, ass out. You know, there's no creativity there. It's just anything they want. They just show their ass with it. It's fucking crazy. It's just ass after ass after ass after ass. Kind of like during the day here, you know, with the beach. Well, I don't see it that much because I'm usually down this end. I don't really hang down at the beach that much anymore, unless it's the morning time. But yeah, I'll do it next year because it has to be seen to be believed. I really should have made the effort this year, but I just fucking didn't feel like going out and dealing with it. Because it's kind of unbelievable. You know, you see one walk by and you're like, oh my God, that girl's ass. You show that's like, oh, another one. Oh, this whole gang. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, so I don't mean to bag on the born agains. I'm a follower of Christ too. I'm just not in a group. I don't call myself anything. I can't, because then there's as soon as you start calling yourself something or claiming one group or another, you get purity tested constantly. You know, people want to see if can you quote this part of scripture or blah blah blah. Or well, if you're this, then why haven't you that? It's like, yeah, due to that, I don't fit in. Oh, I'm not in any group at all. I'm kind of my own thing. Which I think is the way to go. Creates flexibility. Looks like a pretty average night by numbers. If anything interesting happens, I'll be sure to press the button. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.